Hi, and welcome to The Bright Balloon, a podcast where I'm sharing bright ideas for your balloon business. My name is Sarah Meyer, and I'm a balloon business owner like you, and I love the creative side of what I do, but I really love the business side, which seems to be the part where most people struggle. So I'm here to help. Each week, I'm bringing you an episode full of bite-sized tips you can use to make tiny improvements to your business. I want you to make more money, eliminate stress, and learn along with me as we grow our creative businesses together. Welcome to The Bright Balloon.
Hello and welcome to your monthly bonus episode. So if you did not hear, last month we went to I don't know why I'm saying we, it's just me. I went to 5 episodes a month. And this 5th episode is going to be an overview of what's happening over in the Patreon group. So if you're not familiar, there is a separate group on Patreon, which is a platform that allows for like bonus content. So for $3 or $5 a month, you get weekly bonus episodes. And every month I read through a self-development or business development book and kind of talk through it chapter by chapter. So last month's book was Purple Cow, and the entire gist was you need to be different. Like when you are driving along, say you're on like a road trip, at first it's like, ooh, cows. And then you see more cows. You're like, cows. And then by the time you see them again and again and again, and I live in Wisconsin, so this was particularly fitting. By the 50th time you see the cows, no one's excited. No one points them out. No one gets excited to see the cow, except if there was a purple cow. Then all of a sudden you would be like, wow, that is a purple cow. And it would stand out. So this is the author's analogy of how we need to try and stand out in our businesses, because eventually it all just blends together and it's harder and harder to get people's attention. Now, what was kind of funny about the month is that I didn't read the description, and instead of buying the updated version of this book, I bought the original, which is like 20 years old. So it was funny reading about advertising and marketing without any concept of social media. So it was like TV commercials and newspaper ads, and it was a little outdated, but all of the concepts still remain true, because just like 20 years ago, it was hard to get attention in a newspaper. Now it's harder and harder to get attention on Instagram or Facebook, and paying for ads doesn't work. So even though it was a bit outdated, all of the concepts remained. So this idea of standing out in your business, I'm not going to obviously give you like an entire overview of the entire book, because that is what we do in the bonus episodes. So you are more than welcome to join the Patreon group, and then you get access to all of those chapters, all of those episodes, and all of the episodes we've ever done. So I think we're on like our 6th or 7th book now. And those are all available to you as soon as you subscribe. So there will be a link to that in the show notes. But I had 2 pretty big takeaways from this book, how I am trying to stand out and how I have already put some of these tips into action. And that is what I'm going to focus on in this episode. So let's take a quick break to hear from a sponsor and then get into it.
Hey guys, if you haven't checked out Havin a Party Wholesale yet, what are you waiting for? And now it has gotten even better. Use code BRIGHTBALLOON at checkout to save 5% on your order. They have all of the brands that we know and trust and love as decorators. They're an awesome family-owned business, and shipping is super fast and free on orders over $200. So check them out today at havinaparty.com.
All right, welcome back. I also want to say, part of the reason that I was able to go to 5 episodes a week is because of our sponsors. So extra thank you to them. They were all on board to go to a 5th episode, which means more support from them. They have just been such an encouragement. So thank you to Jeff at Asset Lab and Joe and the whole family at Havin a Party for picking up the sponsorship on these bonus episodes. I really appreciate that. Now, getting into this book. I personally find it hard to be a purple cow. I find it hard to stand out just for the sake of standing out. I think that I have the luxury of having a balloon business, which kind of already makes me stand out. But sometimes marketing can feel tricky, especially because I'm a pretty straightforward person and I'm like, you either want what I want or you don't. I'm not going to convince you to buy balloons. You're not going to convince me to change my prices. Either buy or don't. I am pretty straightforward. And most people in my area know what they want. They go on my website, they buy. It's pretty straightforward. So marketing has always actually been like kind of challenging to me because I don't know, maybe I'm stubborn. Maybe I don't want to have to work for business or work for attention. But this book made it much more manageable, much more approachable, and I've actually taken action in some of these areas. So my two biggest takeaways in this book, the one is find out what your clients want to hear and tell them that. So not like figure out a way to sell to your clients. It's figure out what they want to hear and then tell them those things. So if you are working with corporate clients, what do they want to hear? Probably ways to make their life easier. So if you can tell them, I make your life easier, that is great marketing. That will help you stand out because in a world of people who are trying to sell to people, it's much more compelling to be the person who's simply just telling you what you want to hear. So if you can figure out what that is, and come to their rescue, that makes sales really easy. That makes marketing really easy, and it helps you stand out. So that is like a purple cow technique that it's not being different in like a wacky, crazy, guerrilla marketing type of way. It's different in the sense that you are simply simple. It's so simple. That's what's different. Find out what they want to hear and then tell them those things. So maybe you want to work with moms. You want to specialize in over-the-top birthday parties. What do they want to hear? They want to hear that their child's birthday is going to be one of a kind, like nothing anyone has ever experienced, and that you are the person to provide that. So tell them that. Instead of saying like, I can do it for the best price, that's not what they want to hear. They want to hear that Jimmy's birthday is going to be incredible, that they are going to stand out. So tell them that and then do that for them. Versus the corporate people, they want you to tell them that you are going to save them time, that you are going to take something off their plate and make it easy, because anyone in the corporate world is drowning. Like they have so many things to do. Balloons are not their top priority. So I like this. I feel like this is like subtle manipulation, but it makes total sense. Like if you can be that problem solver, if you can provide the service, if you can tell them the words they actually want to hear, that will make you stand out from everyone else. Now, the next strategy, my biggest takeaway, is really simple, really similar. It's find out where your ideal client is and then go there. Be in those places. So again, so simple. So who are your clients and where are they? And go there. So for me, it's corporate. So where are they? Honestly, they're not really on Instagram. They're not really on Facebook. My ideal clients, my business owner clients, are at Chamber of Commerce meetings, and they're at dinners for business leaders and industry people. And I don't really go to those things. So that is one of my big takeaways. I actually joined my Chamber of Commerce. It's like mine is inexpensive. It was $300 for the year. So for some of you, that might sound expensive, but relatively speaking, that is inexpensive for a chamber. Sometimes in like California, like I bet in San Francisco, their Chamber of Commerce is like 10 grand a year. So $300, I bit the bullet, I joined, and I'm making it a point to go to our monthly meetings because the people I want to hire me are there. They're business owners who have events, who need someone to do balloons. So instead of me hoping that they find my website or sending an email or making more busy work for them, I am trying to put myself in the room with them. Another thing that I am attending is my Chamber of Commerce has like an annual awards dinner. And like, I'm not going to win an award. I've been a member for 2 seconds. And I also don't know anybody. Like that makes me want to cry. I am going to go to a dinner where I don't know anybody else, but guess who's in that room? The people I want to buy my balloons. I think we have it a lot easier because we do a lot of business to business. It's a lot more difficult to just connect with any random person who might need your services. We know exactly where those business owners are. Or schools. Where do people hang out who run schools? At schools. So you need to do what you can to get into schools. And that sounds kind of pervy. That's not what I mean. If you're not a parent, I repeat, do not try to get into a school. That is weird. But maybe you do like a back to school special and you have like a balloon frame or some sort of photo op at the entrance of the school. And that gets you in the door and it gets you a connection with whoever books the balloons. I'm sorry, I can't get out of my own head now. I'm picturing bad advice and all of you trying to break into schools to connect with children. That's not what I meant. I mean that you need to get in front of the people who make the decisions. So those were my two big takeaways. How simple is that? And this was a pretty lengthy book, but again, the first big takeaway, figure out what your clients want to hear and tell them those things. And then the second takeaway is find out where your clients are and go to those places. Like, it couldn't be any simpler, but just from reading this book, I have started changing some of my language. I have actually been changing my business quite a bit lately. The pumpkin plan had a big impact. This book had an impact. And then I am deep down the rabbit hole of these money archetypes. So if you haven't listened to the episode that came out yesterday about the 8 money archetypes, that is having a really big impact on my business. So much that I'm shifting things around. I'm changing the language on my website. I'm changing my offerings. I'm changing what I sell, where I'm like, when I'm allowing people to pick up. I'm trying to align my business more so that I'm serving the clients that I want to serve, and I'm serving them in a way that naturally feels good for me. That's in alignment with my money archetype. So definitely listen to the money archetype episode if you have not already, because that is having a big impact on my business as well. So just from this book, I have joined my chamber. I have purchased tickets to go to this gala. I need to get like a fancy dress. I'm not going to know anybody. I had to spend money on the ticket, which always irritates me because I'm like already paying money to be in the chamber, but that ticket could lead to a big corporate client, or just some new connections, which is really cool. So, I have a couple more thoughts to share, but I want to take a quick break so we can hear from our other sponsor, and then I will wrap it up.
How many Google reviews do you have? Hi, I'm Jeff at Asset Lab, and did you know that we recommend businesses get to 40 5-star reviews on Google My Business before they even start asking for reviews on other platforms? If you're facing competition, we work with balloon decor companies every day, and we can help you figure out what's the right thing to do for you so that you can get more leads, more phone calls, more contact form submissions. Learn more about us at assetlab.us.
Welcome back. Again, thank you to our sponsors. This has really helped me grow the podcast, and them being behind me, not only sponsoring regular episodes, but also sponsoring bonus episodes and also providing content for the planner that is out on Amazon. I haven't even told anybody about that yet. But the new Bright Balloon Business Planner is released on Amazon, and all of that is due to sponsors of the podcast. So I am very, very thankful. Now, with this book, I feel like everything that I am learning and doing keeps kind of compounding. Like, it keeps building on itself. Like I mentioned earlier, the pumpkin plan was a game changer. So if you haven't listened to those episodes in the Patreon group, you have to. This book, Purple Cow, was like a good piggyback on the pumpkin plan, because now it's like, I know who my big pumpkins are. I know my clients that I want to serve. Now I need to figure out what they want to hear and where they are. And that needs to be my focus, which has kind of shifted my mindset, because again, let's just get into the money stuff too, because now I'm so ingrained in this money archetype stuff. as a ruler, again, this is like a foreign language to you if you haven't listened to yesterday's episode, but as a ruler, I feel like it is my job to be everything to everybody. So letting an email go unanswered feels very bad. Like it feels like I am dropping the ball, or saying no to someone is really hard. Leaving money on the table is difficult. I want to do everything, and I truly believe like I can just bend time and space to get everything done in a day. But I'm learning that not only is that not realistic, it's not good for my business, because the more I try to be everything for everybody, I'm alienating and I'm leaving those big clients kind of out to die on the vine, basically, if I'm going to stick with my pumpkin analogy here. So these two books and my money archetype they're forcing me into this really uncomfortable place where I am playing favorites. Like I am finding those ideal clients and I am going after them. I am responding to their emails first. I am calling them back first. I am booking their jobs first. I am leaving weekends open and saying no to little jobs with the hope that a bigger client will come through. And that is all new to me. Like I have always had pretty good boundaries, but like this is really pushing those boundaries to a limit, which makes my little inner ruler excited because it's something new, but also like a little worried because it feels uncomfortable to play favorites. It feels uncomfortable to say no to money and to paying jobs. But just in the last month or so of trying to apply some of these concepts, I've seen a big change in my business. So much so that I often find myself feeling like there's something I need to be doing and there's just not. Like there's not any emails to respond to, and there's not any balloons to be inflating, and there's nothing I need to be doing. And that's a weird feeling because I've been very busy for very long. So these self-development and business development books have really, really helped my business. So much change has happened. And again, you can read these books and do nothing, or you can read these books and make one little shift and it makes a really big difference. So on to the next book. We've already started and it is called Business Made Simple. So talking about another sponsor, Joette from Balloon Coach. I am so excited to go to Balloon Boss Summit, and it is in about a month. It's in the first week of November. I don't know if there's still spots available. Last I heard there were 3. Those might be gone. So you should still check it out if you want to go. See, there might be a cancellation, there might be a spot. But I am very excited to go to Balloon Boss Summit. And one of the pieces of homework we have been given as attendees is to read Business Made Simple. So if you are going, you can join the podcast, the Patreon, and listen along. That can be like your Cliff's Notes to this book, because I want to read it. I want to be prepared. I know Scott DeLorenzo is teaching. He is part of Balloons by Tommy. He's one of the co-owners. And I mean, they're like machines. Like their business is crazy. And I know this book has been really influential in their business as well. So I want to get through this entire book. I want to read through it before I go to Summit in November. And already the first chapter has left me with some little nuggets that I've been implementing in my business and also in my day job. I'll give a little spoiler here, but like one of the top 10 tips of like a great leader or a great business owner is to be a drama de-escalator. So I've never really thought about that. Like A, you don't want to be the person that causes the drama, but B, if you're the person in the room that can de-escalate the drama, like just kind of bring everybody back down to earth, that's like a really, really great quality. That's a type of person that people want to be around. And just having that little one nugget of knowledge, like something to work on in my day job, when I can be that person to be like, you know what, that's no big deal. We'll figure it out. I'll fix this problem. That is a quality that people like, either in a business owner or an employee. So this book has just been great. Also, I have hired my first employee. Yay. And this book is going to help me a lot, I think, because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to manage people. This is all new for me. So this book about growing a business and managing a team is going to be really helpful. So that is our book for October. You are more than welcome to join. We are only one chapter in, and you don't have to buy the book if you don't want. You can just listen along. That's kind of how these episodes work, and they launch every Sunday. So if you have not picked up Purple Cow, if you're not in the group, you can get that from your library, because like I said, It's 20 years old. And if you're dumb like me and you read the original versus the updated one, it's kind of funny. And it's kind of amazing how some of these concepts in marketing have just completely remained true over the last 20 years, even with all of the growth in social media. So it's a light read. It's an easy read. And again, those were my 2 takeaways. Your takeaways might be completely different. There was so much else in the book. So thank you to my friend Nikki for that recommendation. And join us for Business Made Simple. And if you have other recommendations for, what month is it? For November, let me know. I think it might be fun to do like a goal setting leading into the new year, something like that. If you have any recommendations of books, let me know, and I will talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. As usual, I tried to keep it bright and light. If you're looking for bonus episodes, head over to our Patreon book club group, where we release a new episode every Sunday and read through a new self-development book every month. Now is also the time to enroll in the Money Archetype Workshop launching at the end of November. Your first step is to take your Money Archetype quiz linked in the show notes and then check out the workshop starting in just a few weeks.